This call is being recorded.
Welcome to a Diary of a Fashionista, everyone. To give you a small update, it took 3 people to clear out my garage yesterday, and I know you're supposed to be doing spring cleaning in May. In April, yes, you can tweet me and say, why are you doing it in August? And you know why. Because I couldn't do it in April or May to do it. And so right now we're slowly decluttering my house. Let's just put it that way. And so that is going to be that. And now today, Danielle and I are discussing what it's really like inside our bodies with CP because apparently you can leave comments on a Lipson page, and apparently someone commented on ours, which I would like you guys to do a lot more because we need it. And apparently, someone commented who I didn't know who said, my daughter just turned 35. And I'm going to take a picture of this comment and post it on my Instagram. And AskWin622 is my Instagram, and I'll take, and Anyway, my daughter just turned 35 with cerebral palsy. She's unable to speak. Thank you very much. And so basically, this listener, thanked us for doing the podcast. And I have since friended this friend on Facebook so that she can follow along with the podcast. Now, how you comment on a Lipson page is just go to one of our main pages, and then you'll pick a show pick a Lipson podcast page that you want everyone to comment on, and then stick it in the show notes. All you have to do, you guys, is scroll to the bottom of the podcast page and leave a comment. That's all you have to do. So Danielle is going to pick one. She's going to log in to our account and pick a podcast. The page will pop up, and then if Danielle clicks on the page will pop up. Danielle will put it in the show notes, and then you guys have to scroll to the bottom of the page to leave a comment. Now, unfortunately, what I've noticed is it only works on Facebook, and we don't get notifications of it because for some weird reason, my aide, who's primarily with me, is keeps asking me, "Do you receive any comments on the podcast?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." So then I went back and looked yesterday, and that's the first one we got. And I didn't even say it because it doesn't come through email. So try it, you guys, on any podcast that's hosted on Lipson, including ours, because podcasting need support. So basically, what Danielle and I are going to explain what CP really is like. And for those of you who are brand new listeners to this podcast, when I made the comment in a group called She Podcast on Facebook, they have about 14,000 members. Thank you very much. And a podcast of the same name, run by Elsie Escobar and Jessica Kufferman. I said we got a certain amount of downloads, 5,334 downloads or something like that on my podcast about CP. And someone said in that group, they commented, they go, "What is CP?" CP is a neurological condition that you're born with. Essentially, that you're born with, if you're not careful. CP can be caused by a stroke, it can develop in utero, it could be developed, in my case, preterm labor, and preterm labor by my mom, and I kicked my mom off bed rest, and or in Danielle's case, it can be developed by the umbilical cord being wrapped around your neck as a child. So those are all how it can develop as CP. Now, granted, we have a friend, Danielle, and I, Max Grange, who was born completely able-bodied and choking on a piece of popcorn at age 2, got CP as a result, got paralyzed as a result because the popcorn cut the oxygen off to his brain. So basically, CP is when the oxygen gets cut off to your brain, you can develop CP. And Danielle has a different form of CP than I do, and I'm going to let her explain hers first, and then I'll jump in.
Life with CP is hard but amazing at the same time. The hard part is that our body moves slow, but we think fast. We can't move as fast as our minds. The amazing part is that we can do amazing things that able-bodied people can do. The big thing is to be the first adaptive snowboarder in the world.
And so I agree with Danielle. My body, and I'll hand this episode to my aunt because she'll get a kick out of this. My body ends up moving as slow as I have ever seen it. And maybe it's because my body's trapped in grief land right now, but I don't know whether my own disability is getting worse, or I don't know whether I think it's maintaining itself. I think my body, just because my body went through an extra amount of trauma this summer, thank you very much. Dad passing away. And for those of you that don't know, my dad had a brief battle with lung cancer, and he ended up going into cardiac arrest. I wasn't with him when he went into cardiac arrest, thank God. But my body went through a tremendous amount of trauma and a tremendous amount of change, and yeah, I'll get into that story later why. And it's going through its paces again as of Friday, and I'll get into details after my project, after I get control of my life again, which that's been a little interesting challenge. But we will go into details on that September 8th or September 12th, depending on how it works. But my body is moving to the point of slow. And I told Danielle, and we're going to do a totally separate episode on this. I told Danielle that I was going to work out this morning, which I did, which didn't kill me. But what ended up happening is my body, and don't laugh at me when I say this, my body got so heightened aware that when I was stretching my hips, needless to say, I have really tight hip flexors, that the sound of a hair dryer sent my body backwards. And it's like, okay, okay. And I'm like, you got to do this. You got to do this. And normally someone is helping me with this, but as I said, as I told my aide, I said, "You leave me alone because you are not." Well, she's not trained, number one, yet, but she she is the type of person, and I love her dearly. So she's the type of person that can can't help people if they're in pain. And she says, I don't want to put you in pain. Which that's why I told her leave me alone. Because she knows my exercise program now. She's seen it. But the the PTs at Bridging Bionics are so intense about it that she thought that they were going to give a 5-minute explanation. Silly did. Silly was the C, by the way. And so Silly thought that they were going to give a 5-minute explanation. They landed up giving her a 25-minute explanation of what to do with me. And I said, we're going to do that as of the following week, after this huge project is over, we're going to start the exercise program. Right now, I am going to gently stretch my hips by myself because I'm only going to do it Tuesdays through Tuesdays to Fridays, and I may not even do it Friday morning because of this huge project. But I just feel like the the more people push me away from physical therapy, and now I don't know about Dan, the I am a terrible, and I admit this, I am a terrible at home exercise person. I don't like at home exercise. I don't. I force myself to go to physical therapy, but I don't like PT. I tell you why. Because I was traumatized by a PT as a child, and that PT was the only pediatric um, physical therapist in the Norfolk Valley where I live, Aspen, Colorado, in the Norfolk Valley, and she had a disability of her own, multiple sclerosis. And so, on top of her being a pediatric PT, having multiple sclerosis, battling MS, she just was mean, mean, and nasty. And so that is why I do not like at home PT. But I'm going to try it again because I now I can let the cat out of the bag on this. I wasn't going to tell anyone this, but unfortunately, fortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, on the Bridget Bionics Facebook page, they took a video of me, and I thought that they were sending it to Amanda so that Amanda could do whatever the heck she needs to do. Well, unbeknownst to me, she tags me on Instagram and she tags me on Facebook and says, when is wanting to walk independently? Yikes, yikes, yikes. So now I have now achieved that goal after said project is over on Friday. I am going to start achieving that goal to get rid of my walker. And yeah, that goal is going to take a little bit more time and commitment than I actually thought, but we're going to do it. and we're going to see if I can walk independently, or at least walk with a cane. My God, because pulling a walker in and out of cars, it drove my dad nuts, and he got to the point that he said, "You got to walk. You have got to walk," and then he got sick. So that was the last conversation we had on that, and it just killed him. That killed my dad that I wasn't walking, and I realizing that pulling a walker in and out of the car, Grant, my aide, does it with grace and style, and she goes, "Yeah, here." And so I think at the end of my dad's life, the reason why he got so mad at me for not walking is because he was dealing with cancer. And so when you're dealing with a chronic disability like cancer, you get mad at the people that love you. And I remember walking out the door to that conversation, and he goes, "You got to walk." And I said, "I'm trying. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Well, I know how after next week. I am going to do something that is going to take me away for at least, I'm doing an investigational work right now on it, and it's going to take me away for at least a month and a half. A month and a half, because the way they do no rehabilitation is intense physical therapy. Now, I do have a call in to Craig Hospital, which Craig Hospital is in Denver, and I will see if they can take me on as a spinal cord patient, because my spinal cord injury is unique, and my spinal cord injury happened because I got propofol infusion syndrome during a intense scoliosis surgery in 2006. And I walked into that operating room. I came out. They paralyzed me. They let my spine go dead for 20 minutes. And they gave me propofol infusion syndrome. So, no recovery is going to take me. It's going to be painful. It's going to be intense. But I'm doing my research right now, and not to say that the Bridging Bionics Foundation, and then you'll stick those guys in the show notes as well. And not to say that the Bridging Bionics Foundation can't help me. They just, I need to step it up just a bit for myself and for my family and for my chosen family too. I mean, this is it. I mean, I don't want to die using a walker. I want to learn how to walk again. And so after my project is done on Friday, I am going to start researching everything under the sun, and I may have to take a muscle relaxer, which I tried in the past. To take a muscle relaxer. Well, that muscle relaxer didn't work. It didn't work. Made me a walking dummy. And that muscle relaxer was called Baclovin. And through my research, I am finding there's different versions of Baclovin. If you Google spastic CP muscle relaxers, you can find it. So after my project is done on Friday, I am going to move on to the next project, which is, well, the first projects was going to be transferred and going back to school. That is done. The second project is this project on Friday. As soon as this project on Friday is done, if everything goes according to plan and Miss Wynn gets what she wants out of this project, and Dan Leo's not saying anything. Dan Leo knows exactly what's going on, but I'm not letting this project stop my life. And I am not letting my winning attitude stop this project either. And so I will go into detail about why the last month and a half, well, since June 23rd, has been a little bit interesting. Oh my God, it's been a little bit interesting. But we'll go into detail on the 8th, and then if it doesn't, I shouldn't say, because it will work out in my favor. And so once it does, if we need to backtrack it to September 12th so you guys can hear it on the 13th, we will. But I will let Danielle know that, and she will post it on social media as she always does. So basically, what CP is amazing and challenging at the same time, and there are days that I don't want to deal with it, but 9 times out of 10, those of you who know me and personally, we seem to have the attitude of let's do this, and and so, and that attitude is starting to rub off on people. Yeah, I've given, you too. I think I've given people a lot of lessons in CP that they were shocked at. Because you got to remember, my full-time A now was my housekeeper. I met this woman as my housekeeper only part-time. So it's been a big change. It's been a big change. And of course, CP. What does CP do with change? I freak out. I literally freak out. So again, I'll probably freak out on Friday. You freak out too. So well, we're both going to have the we can do it attitude and what CP can do, not what CP can't do. And peace, you guys. I maybe I'll take a picture of myself after the project is over, because GPS, yeah, you guys won't see me ever again dressed like this. let's just say I have to get dressed really, really nicely for this project. And let's just say I have to put makeup on for this project. Oy. And so if it's not too late, I will probably take a picture of myself before I walk out the door, because yeah, just be aware that on Sunday Danielle and I may be exhausted because showing what CP can do makes both of us exhausted. And so just be aware on Sunday when we record the episode, the future of Danielle and me, just be aware that we may be a little exhausted and bear with us because that's the way we roll. Oh God! Oh God! You're going to work in the morning, and oh God! So okay. So just be aware that I may, and I'm going to try not to, but there's a problem with CP, and it's really annoying. Having a overactive nervous system is one of the most annoying things ever. And so I am going to try and brace myself, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys on Sunday. Now, if we need to back it up to September 12th, and if we need to back it up to September 12th, we'll do that. But I'm still going to be brutally honest with you guys of what interesting times it's been in my life. And so we'll see. We'll see if CP can control itself by the grace of God on Sunday. I know CP can control itself on Friday because I've psyched myself up for this project. But I don't know how this project is going to go, and I just need positive vibes at this point, and I need all the positive vibes in the world, and I need all the healing energy in the world. And those of you who know alternative medicine like Reiki, do it. I'm going to be relaxing on Thursday, and I'm going to be relaxing Friday morning, and just so CP doesn't freak out when I walk in the door to this project, because this project controls my life. This project controls my life. And hopefully, and it will go in my direction. No one will take my life choices away from me. And that's all I'll say about that, because it's been really, really interesting. And I would like to thank all of you. You guys have put up with. We've been to, and excuse my bad language, we've been through hell and back together, you guys, since May. Since the end of April, when we recorded the episode How Love Wins for Wins That. We've been through hell and back. And this is another. Yeah. We've been. You guys have listened to Danielle and I speak through good times and bad times. And May 19th, I recorded a podcast. And so, and then Danielle interviewed me about my book. And it's. So, you guys have. Even though you don't think that you make an impact on all these podcasts that you listen to, you do, and it's interesting. You guys are going to be blown away when I drop the biggest news of my life on Sunday, September 8th, if not the 12th, and you guys will hear it on the 13th. You guys will be blown away. And I'm just going to prepare you now that I am going to cry on this episode when we do it. And so the episode will be tearful. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I just need all the positive vibes I can get. And I'll leave it at that. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I am going to cry. And I'm going to cry. So if you have kids in the car, which by the way, CP needs to be put in the podcast in the classroom. By the way, I'm making that clear right now to all you teachers out there. Put Echo Dot into your budgets, or put Amazon Smart Speaker in school budgets, or put a Google Smart Speaker in school budgets, and let's implement technology in the classroom, and then let's start playing Diary of a Fashionista, or better yet, let's start playing the Shining Beautiful podcast, which I started with Mother and Daughter team, Mikkel, Leonard, and Casson Carroll, based out of Denver, Colorado. And they're doing a wonderful job. They support me, I support them, and that's it. And I am Danielle, and I have been lucky to see these guys speak twice. I have Danielle, you have seen these guys speak once. Am I correct in saying that? Three times. Okay, 3 times. So you have seen these. I have seen these guys speak twice and seen them Danielle seen them 3 times, and we the more that CP gets out there, the better. And my aide keeps teasing me. I keep saying I'm not doing enough for the population of CP. She goes, "When? How many people have a podcast? Actually, 3 of them that teach about CP, not very many." So I'm like, thanks for the vote of confidence there. And the more, and that being said, the more we teach people about podcasting in general, the better. I have got one of my aides, and I'm not admitting ages here because she'll flip, but I've got one of my aides because she actually listens to this podcast as I'm doing it, and I've now got her listening to podcasts, and she, her line is, I like taking care of our older millennial me content, because the older millennial is now teaching her stuff that she would have never learned. And so it's and eventually after this project is over, I'm actually going to bring her on this podcast because I'm going to introduce you to my aide, and probably both my aides, so you know what's going on in my life. So you know I'm receiving care, that I'm still receiving. And maybe Danielle, if Celeste is Danielle's buddy, and maybe Danielle, if Celeste wants to come on this podcast, you're going to have to ask her, but she's more than welcome to do it because we need to educate people about CP. Yay! So, yeah, why don't you ask Celeste and I'll ask the other two But that's going to be happening in the next couple months. And then as I sit here, I'm actually going to be working on today's September 1st. Jesus, you guys, where did August go? Where did my summer go? Bye bye, summer.
No.
But that's okay. But as of October, I am working on a special project that I can't speak about right now, but I will let you know as soon as I can. Let you know about let's get out of the bag on that one. And all I can say is it's something to do with keeping our bodies healthy. Let's just say that. And so we're going to see. We're going to see. And I will be heavily involved in this project. And we're going to see if this project works out. If the one on Friday works out, I shouldn't say if, when the one on Friday works out, I will be such a happy camper because I can focus on my other projects like Ask Win and this podcast. So, Danielle, do you want to say anything else about CP? Well, yeah. Yeah, well, people are going to send you good vibes too. I mean, for the 9 to 5 tryout play.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Do you want to say anything else about CP before we let everyone go on a Monday morning, even though Monday's Labor Day and you're not supposed to be working? Oh boy. Oh boy, Danielle. Oh boy. I may have to. I have to. Cold case. I may have to hand someone this episode because just because after my project on Friday, I am going to be handing a lot of people this episode, and it's going to open up their eyes to how CP is amazing. And that's what I think too. And so, Danielle, do you want to do the closing shout out?
Yeah.
Thank you guys, and please, 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 please share this episode out. And could you please spread the peanut butter on Pandora? I don't see you guys spreading the peanut butter on Pandora. It's all about Apple iTunes, Apple iTunes, Apple iTunes. And for those of you on Android, you're in the sticky wicket of Stitcher, and you're in the sticky wicket of everything else. But we need to start spreading the peanut butter away from Apple iTunes. Apple iTunes is the bread holding it all together. But you put things in a sandwich to make the sandwich taste good, don't you? Like peanut butter and chili. So please just equate the peanut butter bean Pandora and the jelly bean Spotify, or the jelly bean Stitcher on Android, or the jelly bean Pocket Cast on your smart speaker of your choosing. So let's make A Diary of a Fashionista sandwich, and let's leave Apple Podcast alone. Thank you very much. And let's just spread the peanut butter and the peanut butter sandwich just a little bit further because Apple, I know that Pandora doesn't work in international countries. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. So the easiest thing for you guys to do is go to click on the links that takes you to the podcasting pages, and they automatically post on Twitter. They automatically post on a Diary of a Fashionista Facebook page. They automatically post all over Facebook, and click on those links and play it from the homepage because, and I'm sorry, you guys have to sit at your computer. You can't do that mobilely yet, but you need to leave Apple iTunes alone, you guys, because why are we getting so many downloads out of Apple iTunes? You guys, out of Apple Podcast, Apple iTunes is a desktop version, and because you're not spreading peanut butter, are you? You're being sticky and listening to us in Apple iTunes. Stop! Stop, 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 stop. Because 1,000 of you have Androids out there. I know that. I know that because my aide has one. And I needed to show her on the Android side how to subscribe to a podcast because she does not have access to Apple like I do. So please, 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 all the podcasts, quit using the elephant in the room, Apple Podcast, because it's or Apple iTunes because it's really annoying and it's getting to the point when we need to spread the peanut butter and make the sandwich of a diary of a fashionista happy. So please, 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 for all you podcast fanatics out there, please consider another podcasting player or stick with Apple. But I would like to see a little more spreading of the peanut butter and a little more spreading of the chocolate sauce on the ice cream, even though I don't eat ice cream. I'm trying to come up with all the analogies in the world. And kill. And one last thing before we let you guys go. Have a happy Labor Day. Don't kill yourself dealing with Hurricane Dorian. Thank you very much. And we're watching the hurricane as closely as you guys are. Trust me. The Bahamas is going to get hit, or the Orlando area is going to get hit. And the reason why I'm concerned about that is because my aide has family down there. And so that's always fun dealing with a hurricane. And so don't necessarily listen to podcast if you're dealing with evacuation orders because I don't want the podcast to be in your ears and then you miss the evacuation orders and can't get to safety. So, here's what we're going to do. This week, you guys get a reprieve from listening to my podcast, to all podcasts. I keep calling mine. Sorry, Danielle. And next week, you guys can go back to listening to podcasts with the projects episode, and you guys can listen to podcasts to your little heart's content. We just need to get this project's over in my life and a natural disaster over in the Florida and the surrounding areas, including the Bahamas. So please, 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 if you don't have the opportunity to listen this week, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep yourself safe and kill people with kindness this week. That's my ultimate goal. And we'll talk to you guys on Friday morning. Although, yeah, Danielle, because I don't want, well, Danielle and I may record the episode early on Thursday and drop it on Friday because I don't want CP to have a hissy fit during the episode play this project, because if I go down, it's gonna be curtains. So I'm going to try and calm my severe nerve endings. So Danielle, you and I may have to talk offline as to what time we're recording the episode. We may just have to move it up to 10. We may just have to move it up to 10:30, just so I can relax. And I know you want to relax right now. So you guys, happy Labor Day and happy week dealing with the hurricane. And let's just kill them with kindness, you guys. Bye, you guys.
Bye.